welcome to Talking with Famous People. It's early, sure. I woke up pretty much right at 5 a.m. A little bit after. It took me a few minutes to get some pants on and smoke a cigarette. But with a little bit of meow and a sprinkle of meow, I'm confident that everything is going to be just fine. Morning, Big Dog Mofo. Good morning, Boba Fett. I have a wonderful kitty that I'm petting. And, I guess you could say I'm not super enthusiastic about the day. But it is Wednesday already, which is... Alright, well, I'll let you know. When we go to town next, I plan to go to the vape store and get one. I'm beginning segueing, But, we haven't been to town since I made the decision, so I haven't gotten it yet. But we should go to town today. We have plans to go out to dinner tonight. Rachel wanted to go out to dinner last night, but she didn't say that until after I'd just eaten a manicotti. So I was like, can we go tomorrow night? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Daddy knows. I'll leave it up to Rachel. She can choose any of the restaurants in town. On Wednesday, this is another reason why we put it off to today. Wednesday, everything's open. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of the restaurants in town are closed. So she'll get to choose between 1850, Charles Street, Frederick's, Sportsman's, or the Mexican restaurant. The Mexican restaurant's cheap. Well, I'm not going to get one of those things, Big Dog Mofo. I'm just going to get something that looks like a little cigarette, right? It has nicotine in it. It's disposable. Yeah, so when we do go out to a fancy dinner, which we do every once in a while, Rachel likes to go to one of the two restaurants in town that serves lobster. Because if we're eating fancy, she prefers lobster. Yeah, I know. 15,000 subs, huh? Crazy. Let's go have a health tube. Really, the main number one job I have this morning is to go poo. I feel like I have a big poo in my butt, but I felt that way all day yesterday and never managed to quite come out. So this morning, we're going to prioritize pooing as the number one outcome we're seeking. So I'm going to stand up, have this health tube. By standing up and going like this a little bit, I have to jostle loose my poop, That's my goal. And then once I'm done jostling it, it falls down into the proper location. We'll go into the bathroom and we'll leave it in the toilet. Wait for the poo fairy to come take it away. Oh, it's moving fast. I can feel it dropping. Oh. So, let's see if I can read this with my glasses. I doubt I can. Have pineapple and chicken separate. I don't know. Thanks, Elaine. I hope someday to get to 100,000 subs. And I get a Google Play button. I mean a YouTube Play button in the mail. If we get to 100,000 subs, it sends you a physical object. Okay. I think it's time for pooping. Yeah, it's time. It's time for the triumph of the ages. Well, watch you eat after I poop, Trouble. Well, you're going to have to wait till after I poop. That's excellent. I did excellent work here this morning. I know everyone's extremely proud of me. I know, mister. I know you want me to watch you eat. Well, that was excellent. Excellent job. You pooped a lot of poop, and you did it in just one action, which I appreciate. I am very excited about my friend Matt coming up. He's like replacement Corey. He's an incredible talent. The difference is, I actually think I'm equivalently talented to Matt as a songwriter. I'm not as good a musician, but I'm an equivalently talented songwriter. I think Corey's a little better than both of us, but that's okay. I don't need to be better than other people. Where's the cat food? You're a silly boy. Yes, you are. Just go outside. Come on. Okay. Well, that is enough watching you eat. Watching the cat eat is boring. Yeah, he's a happy fat cat, but he's also neurotic and narcissistic. Next time somebody tells me to say the N word, I'm going to say, my cat is neurotic and narcissistic. Good evening. It's not evening, Bing Vismanas. It's early in the morning. It's 6 a.m. You should look at where the sun is. Now, if we were going to watch a cat, I'd want to watch this cat be adorable. Oh, yes. Oh, Elaine. You must be in some foreign land where they get time wrong. You haven't slept yet. I slept all night long. Again, Kevin Dowdle, you must live in a foreign country where they do the time wrong. You're all fools. Fair enough. We are all fools, Kevin. Well, I'm kind of tired, kind of tore up, you know. In the Philippines, wow. I have people watching me even from the Philippines. It's like I walked into a nail salon. Okay. So I indicated I'm feeling kind of tore up this morning. It is sleepy week. It's true, say cheek. Hi, Netherlands. Welcome. Your soccer team wears orange. I could, I guess, if I looked at it. So I have looked at the analytics before. It does tell you, doesn't tell you specifically who's from where, but it tells you like this percentage of your viewers are from America, this percentage are from wherever. Snow on the ground in Canada, huh? Well, I hope you didn't plant any baby plants, figuring the last frost was done. Did you know Eric is streaming for the cause? What's the cause? Well, Kevin Dowdle, it's true that from your perspective, I am in a foreign country. But I think at this point, we all know that America is the main country. Okay. The main country. Okay. America is the main country. And then other countries are other countries. Yeah, my grass seeds are probably toast from the last frost. Got to be. I had that same kind of problem. um, I had the same kind of problem, but I moved my seedlings into the garage at night until I was sure. I left them out last night and the night before, I think. We'll see how they're doing. All right, time for the first bar up of the day. I'm not from Canada, no. I'm from America. You gotta ease your lungs into the day, you know. You're 33,000 years old? Wow, I thought I was an old man. That was not a big hit, but that's because my lungs are still waking up, you know. My lungs like to sleep in a little longer than the rest of me. Admiral Mighty Buffoon, good morning. Welcome. We've got an uneventful stream going on here this morning. You're gonna outdo me and roll a 2-gram Geiger. I don't know what a Geiger is, but I'm assuming it's a big joint or something. I don't need to wipe my nose on my shirt because I have this. Well, that's true. Elaine's here. So things could get explosive any second now. Are you still coming to America this summer, Elaine? That'll be fun too if Elaine comes to America. And Chris Chapin. My wife is asleep. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, I mean, I get 1,000 viewing hours pretty much every. I mean, let me see what my viewing hours is this month. 7,000, 7.1 thousand time watch hours, 295,000 views last 28 days. 7.1 thousand watch hours. Oh, good. It's a nice country. It's fine. You know, it's America. I live in California, but I live in a good part of California. Tiffany's doing well. Tiffany's a big fan of Burb, by the way. Burb always asks about her. Barb, I like your style. You always ask me important questions. Where's Tiffany? How's Tiffany? How's everybody else? What's my watch hours on Pornhub? It's definitely less than 1 hour a month. I mean, if I'm watching porn for more than 15 minutes, something's gone terribly wrong. I would not say that California is the best state in the United States, but where I live in California is fantastic. I'm 52, Bing. And Admiral Mighty Buffoon, maybe you and I dropped our respective deuces at the same time, because I also dropped a deuce this morning. Tiffany doesn't take any magic except almond milk, which is what she calls vodka. Okay. Well, Pat, neither of us know the race of people around here unless we ask them. They could all be black for all we know. I really don't like that gal's resin on my lips. You know? You're 34, huh? Well, 18 more years till you're my age. Tiffany looks just like your mom. That's a little surprising. I'm your mom, Doris Khan. I'm your mom. I just died. I didn't mean it like that. I just mean that we contribute more agricultural products than other states. Yeah, I mean, California's got a big economy, that's for sure. I heard some stat like if California were its own country, it would have the largest economy in the world. I don't remember what it was, but Tiffany is not a hot mess. Tiffany's somebody who knows what she wants, okay, simple girl? She knows what she wants, and that's to, you know, always get what she wants instantly. You wanna watch our saucy mouth, simple girl? Ah, smack you! Oh boy, simple girl, you better watch it. Tiffany's not happy with you. Roman salute, don't get flagged. You're a mudblood, English, Irish, Scottish, French, German, and Stony Indian. It's the best kind of Indian. Yeah, well, 2 minutes in heaven better than 2 minutes in hell. You know, when it comes to that, I'm very unpredictable. Half of the Major League Baseball teams play in California. That's not true. It's just the Angels, the Dodgers, the Padres, the A's, and the Giants. We do have 5 major league teams. Well, we have 4 major league teams in the Oakland A's. Thanks for the correction. That guy almost got me. I was about to commit that to memory. Don't worry, darling. This will be over soon. What do I think of the Rockies? I think they're probably the worst team in baseball right now. They're worse than the A's. They're worse than the Royals. You got to be pretty bad to be worse than the A's and the Royals. You know, if you mean what do I think of the mountain range, I think it's fine. I think it's a good mountain range. It pokes up into the sky like most mountain ranges do. No, not last night, because it was the night before. It was a weird trip, and I attribute that to the fact that I took one of Rachel's Prozacs that day, because she said that they get her high. But they don't do shit to me. They don't do anything at all to me. I totally forgot. Well, I mean, presumably the Stony Indians are the most stonery of Indians, you know. The Stony Indians are such stoners that they named their whole tribe after it. Prozac is prescribed to Rachel, which she needs it, but if I hear like some drug might be fun, I'm like, I want to try it. Anyway, so I took one of her Prozacs, and I forgot I had even taken it. And then I took shrooms later that day, and it was a weird trip. And I think it was probably weird because of the Prozac. Like, I was tripping pretty hard, but I never felt like kind of out of control. It was weird. So, but I had a good time. My favorite portion of the trip was making fun of plays. Seems like every time I trip on mushrooms, there's this one portion of the trip where I'm standing out in the garage and laughing about something. It tends to be the high point of the trip. Oh, my cactus in the front yard has given me 6 flowers. They're huge. I'm going to take a picture. Yeah, that's great, man. When you get cactuses giving you flowers, and if it's a night bloomer, you better take it right now, Jonathan Earl. Those things are going to close up very shortly. I like cactus flowers a lot too. It was a couple of nights ago. I was laughing. The main difference between me on shrooms and me not on shrooms is when I'm on shrooms, I don't read the chat as much. I just kind of monologue about whatever. Let's see what kind of cartoons we're looking at here. Well, Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World comes out today. But it's time to admit it. It's not a very good season of Crunchyroll. It just isn't a very good season. The uh, the highlight of the season, well, there's a couple of highlights of it, I guess. Reincarnated as a Slime season 3, though. That's the high. That's the high point of the season. Yeah, I know. Mushrooms tend to make me laugh a lot too. That's why I like them. They can also feel pretty good, you know. Uh, Simple Girl 357 says all of their sports teams are struggling. They've got the Rockies, the Avalanche, the Broncos. The Nuggets aren't struggling. The Nuggets are doing well, Simple Girl. Thanks, Alto. The Nuggets are, I think, the 2 seed in the Western Conference. They're going to play the Lakers in this upcoming series. The Lakers won their play-in game against the Pelicans last night. Yeah, they were a long time ago. But that was a good decision to take it when I did. I've done a good job of timing things this month. Like, I timed my trip to LA at the right moment, and really, well, Kevin, you don't hear that very often. I don't hear that people reporting that they have bad trips on mushrooms. Yeah, I don't like to trip too hard on mushrooms. It's not like it's not like acid though, where you know tripping too hard is scary and potentially dangerous. Tripping too hard on mushrooms is like it's just more being more on mushrooms. It's not like a whole different category of things like it becomes when you take too much acid. I gotta get a jacket. Brr. It's not that cold, but it's too cold to not have a jacket on. So now I have a jacket on. Right now is a very exciting time. Yeah, maybe you weren't in a good mindset. That's kind of critical to all of tripping. The hippies are not wrong, even though I don't like them. when they uh, when they say like setting, meow meow meow, all those things they say. Important thing to remember in my experiencing a bad mushroom trip is these have been zero discontributed to psychotropic mushrooms. I'm goofy enough without drugs on board. Well, if you're a person who's not ever like been a druggie, lucky you. I was like born an addict. I was born ready to start getting loaded. My opinion on Israel Gaza. I mean, I think Israel has an obligation to not maintain this apartheid state. Born addict, no truer words. Yeah, I was trying to get high as a little kid before I even knew what it meant. There are many animals in the kingdom that like to get intoxicated. It's true. This morning you look like Popeye, my favorite character. Coke have just smells so darn good. I do a little cocaine, but just because I like the smell of it. I used to hold my breath until I nearly passed out. Yeah, I did that too. I would hyperventilate, then hold my breath, and then stand up at the end of class and make myself get a head rush. Just, you know. And of course, first time I had alcohol, I was like in middle school or something at a family gathering. And got in short order became the drunkest person there. Your breaded chicken is mushy? I'm sorry to hear that. The smell of the cocaine plant is actually sweet. I actually don't do cocaine. Do I regret alcohol? You, I mean, it's inconceivable to me that I could ever live a life where I didn't spend some years as an alcoholic. It was doomed to be the case. My dad was a big drinker, although not a problem drinker. I had modeled for me alcohol consumption from very young. My parents always had lots of alcohol in the house, many bottles of wine, hard alcohol, beer. It was inevitable that I was going to drink. Do I wish I had drunk for less long? I mean, in some sense, it's just a matter of I did the best that I could at the time. I did as well as I could, given who I was, where I was in life, what I knew, what I had experienced. I'm a subjective knower, intentionally, which is to say, a lot of times I do dumbass shit, experience the consequences, and that's how I learn not to do it again, you know? I did have uh, I did have an accident a long time ago. Like I did have an accident while drunk, but it was like I clipped somebody's car a little bit and I hit and run it. It was like 18 or something. After that, no, I never had any driving accidents, and I was never violent. Never violent. I always used words. Hitler FP, hello. Yeah, I'm glad I stopped drinking too. I mean, I tell you, that's something I definitely do not regret is quitting drinking. But whether I regret drinking or not, you know, how much time are you going to spend putting yourself on trial for your mistakes is one of the questions. If I had been better, known better, whatever, I would not have made those mistakes, maybe, but I didn't know better or I wasn't better, and so I failed. But in some other sense, trouble, trouble. I'm gonna throw my shoe at that cat. Yeah, I know. The hangover is just insane, right? They do get worse and worse. The hangovers get worse and worse. Kitty, don't scratch that, please. Right. Well, I mean, in some sense, when I was a drunk, was the most successful time of my life. In part because I was a drunk, I worked all the time because it was the only time I wasn't drinking was when I was working. So, yeah, I quit drinking and I've tried every drug out there except for needles and opiates and stuff. I drank beer and hard liquor. No, I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking 10 years ago. A little more than 10 years ago. Oh, hello. Oh, yes. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. Yeah, well, I agree with the general consensus here that marijuana is the best and most sustainable drug you can do. But, I like mushrooms a lot too, but you can't do those more than about once a week. Oh, kitty, I love you. Yes, I do. And I know about your specialness. I learned about it at Kitty Specialness School. Yes, I did. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. I want to try psychedelics, but my mom knew a dude who got stuck. Well, if you try mushrooms, you'll be fine. Mushrooms, mushrooms are very, very different from acid. They have some similarities in their effect at a certain dosage of acid, but Yoshi saw a skibbity yat today. Um, Another drug burned out channel. I mean, why would you think I'm fucked up in some way? Like, what could you, how could you possibly evaluate me and what my life is, how I am, based on this instantaneous judgment of yours, and think that you're sensible in any fashion whatsoever? It's crazy. No, Kayla, obviously not. Another drug burned out channel. I mean, I've been YouTubing for 10 years, right? For much of those 10 years, I was working hard as a competition flow debate coach. And some of those years I was taking care of my dying parents. But now I'm living a comfortable, happy life here in Mariposa and, continuing to produce the same kind of content that I've always produced. Sure, here's some advice for you. Poop when you can. I'm slow from it, huh? Well, if you evaluate me as somehow slow, then you are very poor at evaluating people's intellectual competency. So, probably you're just here to provoke control. You don't even mean it. But regardless, you're wrong. Ketamine's great. Ketamine shouldn't cause you to have a psychotic episode. I mean, that's one way you could look at it, Lord Dragon the Red. Or you could look at it as I have a very addictive personality and I'm doing a great job of sustainably managing that. But if you want to be hateful, go ahead and be hateful. I don't know why you would choose that, but I mean, if I'm a loser, the bar for winner is set awfully high. Thanks, Kayla, for your input. Well, sure, the visuals can be kind of similar, Stoner's Code, but what I mean by they're a different category of thing is if you take too much acid, you are you are in you're going to be in a bad way. All right, like you're going to have a bad trip, and it might fuck you up for a while. Whereas that's very unlikely to happen on mushrooms. This activity is not illegal, dumbass. I live in California. It's perfectly legal for me to smoke weed. Too late. Too late, Kevin. Yeah. Got a kiss from the bong. Right, well, you know what else broadcasts on TV, Lord Dragon the Red? Poker. And people get to watch it even in places where it's not legal. Crazy, huh? If you don't want to watch it, you should watch something else. Or Dragon the Red, you know? I don't know why you'd be here watching something that you dislike so much. Now, I'm a bad poker player. I'm such a bad poker player that I'm better at gambling at table games than I am at poker. You're crazy, you know that? Why are you doing a live stream like this, drinking, babe? I'm not drinking anything but coffee, dumbass. And other individuals are responsible for their own choices. Kids are not like these creatures who begin doing everything they see anybody else doing, right? They've got multiple role models in their life. What a waste on society. You don't work, do you? No, I don't work, Lord Dragon the Red. I own this home and another home down the street that we're getting ready for a rental. I'm not a cop. No, I will not slash you. Greasy Draws says N. Good morning, Blue Baron. I just said OMFG. I don't think I just said OMFG. I don't get any money from the government, Lord Dragon the Red. You should have read Boba's Fett's comment. It's possible to get Adderall off market, but you'd have to do so by the dark web. And that's a bit of a process, you know. I've never done it myself, but presumably I could figure it out. I don't want to. Kayla says, oh my God, he's slow, you slow. Well, if that's what you think, Kayla, that's fine. You are certainly entitled to whatever perspective on that you want. RTFM? Who's RTFM? Or what does that mean? Right about now, the Funk Soul Mother. Coffee. I told you already. I go get some more coffee, in fact. It's morning. I don't drink alcohol. I always enjoy people coming in attempting various attacks on me. It's like, I think it represents kind of a lack of imagination, you know? Feel bad for my cat? Why? Because you don't think she should have a wonderful life? Hi, Capio. Someone feels bad for you, my beloved darling. I'm not sure why either. What a good kitty you are. Yes, this cat was actually born in bed next to me from my previous cat. She was the one kitten we couldn't give away. And she's a very good kitty. She's a wonderful kitty. Right about now, Funk Soul Brother. All right, my coffee should be done. I should have waited for it. But I got impatient. I think she should have the best life, but treat her life, please. Gosh. Okay, well. Do you think that then this cat is the one you feel bad for? We do have two cats, you know. This cat that forces me to watch him eat all the time. If you've been around this stream before, you've already spent too much time watching this cat eat. Because he's neurotic for some reason. I mean, he used to be a stray, you know. So he doesn't want to eat unless I'm standing here watching him. So yeah, my cats are living large for sure. As you see, the whole kitchen table is devoted to be his eating area. As I've said to Rachel before, people might accuse us of a lot of things, a lot of failings or shortcomings or various things. But one thing that nobody could ever accuse us of is failing to love our cats enough. These are the most spoiled cats in history. Oh, yes. I get to say how many cats you have because it's incriminating. Sounds like you have too many cats. I'm gonna just let Lord his mouth off. It's kind of funny. Um, Again, Lord Dragon the Red. I am receiving zero money from the government. Zero money. Okay. Show me your crack rock. I don't have a crack rock. I'm sorry. I don't smoke crack. Did you know YouTube is the government? I didn't know that, no. But I do appreciate Lord Dragon the Red still being here. You 90 plus? You 90? No. I have never lived off tax dollars, and I'm not lying to you. The only time I remember receiving money from the government, or anything like it, is one time when I was flat broke. I broke my hand, and I went to County USC hospital and got government subsidized treatment for my broken hand. That was quite a long time ago. No, I'm not lying. I don't know why you would think I'm lying. I'm 52. I mean, my life for the last 10 years is very well documented here on YouTube. You can you could go back and see exactly what I was doing, where I was living, etc. What my job was, etc. Yeah, well, he was a professor. He did teach political science at this place called American University. I was a competition flow debate coach. I was the director of a private debate school for a while. I owned my own debate school for a while. It's fine, Lisa Dias. When I am live streaming, I'm putting myself out there and opening myself to critique. As long as people don't get too explicitly hateful, then I usually let it ride, see how it plays out, you know? I can always time out or hide anybody I want. So ultimately, it's on me that they're still saying these things. I like to let it play out because in plenty of instances in the past, people have come here to either troll, to shit on me, hate on shit, or whatever, and I end up winning them over. So, uh, you know, I just sort of let it play out. Yep, I am smoking weed. Jesus Christ is here, everybody. Hi, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not saying anybody needs to keep their pain to themselves. Trouble, get out of here. Get. Go on. Get up. Go on. You let your sister come in the house. So, see? Even Jesus was a stoner. Well, uh, Nikolai, I think Kayla's pretty young. So, let's, uh, let's not say that. Dopeheads are too weak to cope with reality. Okay. Well. So what do you imagine it is that I'm doing instead? Not coping with reality? Yeah, I know about our brand, of course. Dr. Powell says, Lord Dragon, you're chatting some shit. Shut up. Well, Lord Dragon is doing something that is a common technique, which is it's like shifting ground um, to continually to new, in other words, not being responsive to responses. His previous his previous level of attack or angle of attack was that I was mooching out the taxpayer. However, once I established that no, as a matter of fact, I definitely am not and have not, then he, instead of sort of acknowledging that, oh, I guess I was wrong about that, he just shifted back to, well, you're a stoner and stoners are weak. So obviously, there's a little projection there because he's doing a very weak job of trolling and provoking. I don't I don't like one of them more, Kayla. I have positions on certain things, I don't really want to get into at the moment. I've gone over this Palestine Israel thing many times already. My name's Eric, Kayla. Rhymes with Peric. Palestine's more swaggy. I like that. I mean, okay. The long and short of it is this. In terms of the order of obligations, so to speak, the first obligation needs to be fulfilled is Israel needs to stop maintaining this pseudo-apartheid state thing they got going on with Palestinians and let them be their own country without any stipulations or terms. After that, then we can discuss other things. Yeah, I like America, I like Canada, I like Mexico, North America. I like countries that are in NAFTA. Those are the best countries. Alright. So I'm here to do two things. Yeah, sure, I'm here to have a health tip. But I'm going to have a partial. What I'm really here for is I need to clean the kitty litter again. Even though I cleaned it already, like in the middle of the night. Alright, let's go do it. Let's go do it right now and get it over with. Ugh, right? How ugh is that? Super ugh. Freaking. You do what you're gonna do, Lord Dragon. Now that you've threatened me, I'm gonna hide you. Side by side. It's a knowledgeable question, Parker T. It's a Kawasaki mule. Kawasaki Mule Pro XT, Pro FXT Ranch Edition. It's got 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, locking rear differential. It's got a winch. Seat 6. And it's got this back part that you could tilt up the whole back part to tilt things out if you wanted to. I never have used it, but you could do that. Oh, you work on them. Cool. Well, do you live in California? If mine ever breaks, I don't know what I'm going to do because I have no way of transporting it anywhere. We bought it with this house. It's super comfortable too. Like this is if if you go out onto the wilderness roads, which is the only thing we really use this for that much. But I mean, now that we have this other house down the street, I use it to drive back and forth from there. But when we go on the little wilderness roads, I mean, we go on the wilderness roads in the little wilderness car, as we call it, and you go over bumps, it's so suspensiony that it's like super smooth. It's crazy. You can go over a lot of bumps in this and not feel too jostled. The the guy we bought this house from, he sells these things. It's like he works for a place called Garton Tractor that sells all of these kinds of things. And so I assume it was parked here when the house was for sale. And so we decided uh, to get this little car too. And I'm assuming he knew which one to get for himself, since he dealt in things. So it's probably a good one. We live in a neighborhood where many of the people in this neighborhood have little cars like that. I've never used many of the bells or whistles, but yeah, it does have power steering. Do I have to watch you eat again? No, I was not in Home Alone. But I had somebody telling me the other day a lot that I looked like the guy who shovels snow in Home Alone. I haven't seen that movie in a while, so I don't know which guy that is he's talking about even, but the old guy pushing the shovel outside, right? Kayla, cállate, probablemente eres una adolescente que trabaja en las esquinas. Hey, 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 hey. What? What is that? SOS, become a sales rep. Sell on YouTube. Send me after you sell a Lily, Tampa, Florida, USA. My girls golf at Rogers Park Golf Course. I sell ideas now. What? I have been on some tough trails with those, and I find they beat the hell out of you. Oh well, I don't know, man. This one is super smooth riding. You can go over like rutted roads and bumps and stuff, and it's just smooth as silk. It's crazy. Because, I don't like to be jostled too much. So, Chupa Virga Mexicanos, quieres English in Americana. No, we don't quieres English. I'm fine with quieres in Espanol. You know. Hi, Black Zen. Welcome to Talking with Famous People, and hello to the country of Brazil. I hope you enjoy your soccer. I see true that Lord guy to begin with. I hate bullies, they're my trolls, haha. Yeah, I did too, but I like to let things play out. Um, I kind of get a kick out of frustrating them with my implacability. It's one of the great, like, refining things about YouTube, for me anyway, is I used to get mad a lot on YouTube at people, not even who were trying to troll or anything, but just for being wrong about something. Uh, but nowadays, I have learned how to deal with this stuff, and it's just because you know you have enough experiences, it you start to understand things from like a higher frame level. It just works out that way because ultimately I have come to understand various angles of attack as variants of various things, rather than as individual instances. Could I give you some advice about love? The advice I have about love is remember, criticism kills love. Don't criticize anybody you're trying to love. There might be some instances where they cross your boundaries, in which case you have to enforce your own boundaries. But if you find yourself inclined to criticize the other person a lot, like, you need to meow, no, 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 you're always so meow, then you shouldn't be with that person. Do I feel an earthquake? No. What part of California are you in, Jonathan? Are you central, southern, or northern? Right, but Jonathan Earl, here's the thing. Because I've lived my life so transparently, etc., people, and because of this forum, people can attempt to attack me on all the different possible angles they might try to attack me on, and they're gonna find purchase with some of those. Like, not every possible attack against me is going to be contrafactual. So that's a good question, Big Prepper. That's a good way to put it, Winston's mom. So, but the thing is, the people who are close to me the reason they can hurt me is not because they know how to hurt me. It's because any attempt to hurt me would be very hurtful, right? Because I trust them not to betray me like that. Oh, you're in the Inland Empire? You know, I have to say, I think the Inland Empire is a little bit presumptuous in calling themselves an empire. Uh, they've never engaged in any kind of imperial conquest. So if there were an earthquake, then Jonathan, probably, yeah, it would be unlike. It would have to be a pretty big earthquake for both you and me to feel it, because we're pretty far away from each other. Hello to the France. Bonjour, bonsoir. Quelle heure est-il? La plage. Voulez-vous la plage? Omelette du fromage. I don't speak a lot of French. I'm sorry. I only speak a little bit of French. I speak a fair amount of Spanish. I can I can make myself understood iffily in Spanish. I'm not gonna shave my beard, summer sudden. I don't want to shave it. You mean what I was saying in French, Jonathan Earl? Yeah, it was accurate. Voulez-vous la plage? Fontana. Well, you know, there are some people in LA what they call Fontana, Jonathan Earl. They call it Fontucky. Did you know that Fontana was sometimes called Fontucky? That's snobby LA people being like, oh my God, that's San Bernardino County. San Bernardino County is so trashy. So I'm not saying it was good of people that say that sort of stuff. I'm just saying that's what people in LA called Fontana is Fontucky. Fontana is like one of the first cities east of Los Angeles. Like, you know, one of the first cities after Claremont. Claremont's the last city of Los Angeles County to the east. And then after that, it starts being San Bernardino County. You don't like to be jostled either? Hi, Nezuko. Yeah, it takes a while to get there. But if I had to go to Fontana, it would be like another probably 45 minutes even. Maybe an hour, depending on traffic, I guess. All right. I tell you what we're gonna do. We are going to go outside and give some cutlets to the woodland friends, okay? Today's what you might call an off day, which is to say I'm not on any Adderall, and I don't really feel like doing much. But I do have one phone call I need to make. That is to pest control. I need to get rid of these termites. God knows how much that's going to cost. I'm hopeful that we're not going to have to get the house tinted, you know. If the extermination people say we have to get it tinted, I'll probably get a second opinion. However, if we are going to have the house tinted, this is the time to do it because we still have the other house down the street that we could stay at while they're tinting this house. You live next to the second largest contaminated waste site in America? Yeah, simple girl. Probably, my understanding, which is predicated on no research at all, but just kind of hearing people say things, is that basically if you have termites, you're going to have to get the house tinted. And what I'm thinking is, well, if we have to do that, we have the other house down the street. We haven't rented it yet. We'll hold off on renting it. We'll get this house tinted. Who knows how much that's going to cost? Probably a lot. Okay, I don't think we have subterranean termites. I think we have drywood termites. This house is not made out of much wood, right? But there is some. Right, well, Boba Fett, I wish they had made the whole house the way they made most of the house, which is out of walls that are basically sheets of metal on either side with this thick foam stuff in between. It's not drywall, it's not wood, but there are some parts that are wood, like this is wood. This is wood, you know. And the window frames, which is the one in the kitchen, the window frame is what has the termites. So we don't have a lot of wood in the house, but we do have some, and that's where the termites are. I feel quite confident that it is not subterranean termites. This thing is built on top of a very sound concrete slab. I'm not worried about subterranean termites. But I'll call the exterminator and we'll see what they say. Hopefully they could kill it without tinting. You know, if they're just in that one spot in the kitchen, then maybe they can. But who knows how I don't know. It could have gone up into above there. I'm not sure how much wood there is where exactly, you know? Obviously, I don't want to have my house fall apart because it's been eaten by termites so much. No, we get mice for a very simple reason. The cats bring them inside. We're talking about termites, Kayla. How is that acting so smart? Would tea trees be oil be effective? I mean, I've been squirting like Raid up in there, but yeah, well, we're not gonna do soil treatment for termites because, like I said, I feel very confident that's not what we've got going on here. These are the flying kind of termites. Last night, well, whatever. I'm gonna call the pest control people. Here comes Turkey Lurkey again. Rachel wants a BB gun to shoot the turkeys. I want that so much for her. We're gonna get one for her when we go to town. Pump action one. And I can imagine myself laughing so much as Rachel shoots the turkeys with a BB gun to make them go away. That just sounds so delightful. Well, there you have it. Cutlets for the woodland friends. It's a lovely morning. Smells good outside. The air is fresh and clean. I enjoy the sound of the little stream at the bottom of the gully here. It's very nice. Makes me want to stand more over here. It's really moving some water right now with all the recent precipitation. What you hear right now is about as many GPMs, gallons per minute, as this little stream is ever going to be pumping. Let's see if I can show it to you. You can kind of see it through the trees there. There. You can see it underneath the horizontal log. Cause it was Saturday night. I guess that makes it all right. I said, baby, do you have enough gas? Well, we got a couple of takers on the seeds. Early arriving blue jay and a couple of black-eyed peas, aka dark-eyed juncos. It's a really lovely morning. Makes me just I just feel comfortable just standing right here. It's not too cold. I can be outside with flip-flops on. I think I'm going to do a poll when I go inside. I got a poll in mind. Which kind of hat is best? Beret? Sombrero? Stovepipe hat? Maybe those will be the three choices. As you see, we got some squirrel action going on. We did until they got a warning from their friend squirrel. Run away, guys, said the friend. And they all ran away. That's how squirrels work. They work together as a team. They're a bunch of communists. Which kind of hat is best? You need more coffee? You'd have fun cleaning up the deadfall? Oh, God. Don't make me feel guilty. You're supposed to do that. Like, you're supposed to clean up deadfall and stuff and burn during burn days. But I'm like, am I really going to do that? The answer is no. That sounds kind of boring to me. That's why we only have 1 acre. I don't want to take care of a bunch of land. I don't even take care of 1 acre. And I don't even sweep the sticks in the driveway. So, I'm probably not the best person to that have 5 acres or whatever. You know, a lot of people come to Mariposa because they want to have 5 acres, 10 acres, or whatever. And they want to have agriculture stuff going on. Like they want to have chickens and or sheep or cows or whatever, horses. So a lot of that near us. But we don't want to do that. That just sounds like a huge pain in the ass. I've had chickens before. They're mostly a pain in the ass. They shit everywhere. What's up? Well, I'm pooping a little bit more right now. I had a good poop earlier. So I don't feel like I have a lot of more poop in me, but you know, the universal rule, poop when you can. Here are 2 universal rules I'm willing to say are universal rules. Poop when you can and criticism kills love. Those are good rules. Up. A direction indicating vertical motion is upwards, I guess. Upwards, skyward. Climb. Ascend. Rise. Raise. That's all I can think of. Are you doing a crossword puzzle or something? That sounds like a crossword puzzle flip. Can anybody else think of any more besides the ones I said? You know the old saying, a turd in the toilet is worth one in the butt. So even though I didn't poop a lot, I'm glad I pooped some. Because it's never a good idea to retain your poop. You know what I like to say? You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. Okay, we've got a couple of chores to do. Annoyingly. We need to take out this trash. It's totally full. Oh. That is a good crossword puzzle clue, though, right? All of those things I said would conceivably be answers. All right, let's go. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. Does it? I don't really think so. I think it just takes time and circumstance. I mean, mostly what it takes is an ontologically nurturing environment, reality. People and circumstances conducive to your successful manifestation of self. Depending on your perspective, you are more or less responsible for creating those conditions, you know? Yeah, circumstances have a lot to do with things. And, people in general, humans, are quite concerned with determining matters of credit, blame, and liability, right? So, for example, I'm not going to, like, people's understanding of me would be different than it is if my story of financial security were different, right? So people are going to understand me as somebody who inherited money, not as somebody who created this life for himself. Which is correct, but isn't relevant to anything at all in my mind. But the thing is, people are quite concerned and kind of obsessed, in fact, with credit, blame, slash, whatever. So somebody who's in a bad situation, some people will be obsessed with blaming that on societal failures or something. Some people will be obsessed with blaming it on the person themselves. And it's a troubling habit of humans, frankly. Because unless you're talking about actual liability for actual direct harms done from one party to another, then by and large, this whole I mean, basically, it's what they call a fundamental attribution bias. When things turn out a certain way, people have this cognitive bias that says they turned out this way because somebody successfully planned it this way or intended things to be this way. But the reality is, oh, I know it's fine. No, I was not at home alone. I'm not. I'm not talk. I don't have any concerns about it at all. I'm me, relentlessly, unabashedly, in all of my aspects. But I'm talking about how people make this fundamental attribution bias. They don't just apply it to others, they apply it to themselves too. They think that I'm a failure unless meh, 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 meh. Hey, that's exactly me. I don't know who that is. I've never watched The Walking Dead. It's one of the popular shows that I never did get into watching. Time flies when you don't know what you're doing. Well, simple girl, it's fine to blame people for specific wrongdoings, right? So like I I there are certain persona non gratas in my life because they committed wrongdoings that I don't want to forgive, you know. No, it didn't offend me. Well, Jonathan Earl, I'm very lazy. And so I'm not willing to do much to get drugs. If drugs were to fall in my lap, great, but also I have all the drugs I want. I don't want to be, I mean, I don't have all the drugs I want, that's a lie. I don't know why I told that lie. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know what made me think that for a second. I definitely do not have all the drugs I want. Oh, it's impossible to find Mrs. Mom. And I'm concerned that whatever we get might be fentanyl, you know? Addiction is not a disease. You might call it a behavioral disorder. Yeah, that's my concern, what Zigzag says. So I don't know what I could potentially get that I wouldn't be concerned about that. One thought is a DMT pen. If I could find a DMT pen, that'd be great. Simple Girl says, work to live, not live to work. My folks hate me saying that. That's how I feel, however. Because Boba Fett if I were full assing it, then, you know, I'd be correctly subject to critiques of being a meth head and a tweaker. I don't want that to be the case. I play a lot of FE defense. I'm pretty tired. I might go back to bed pretty soon. Yeah, well, I don't think of it as a disease. It's a dopamine management disorder. I think that's the best description I've ever heard of it. And that's the description from South Park. That's the best. It's a dopamine management problem, you know? Hi, Giga. I am well. I'm good and I'm well. How are you? I think I might go in. No, Luce was right. You were right the first time, Boba Fett. I think I might go tell a bedtime story and then go back to sleep. I certainly feel tired. I could take a couple Gabba Gabbas. I could do that. I could take a couple Benadryls. I think I'll take a couple Benadryls. It should be sufficient to make me sleep. I'm already tired. I've got a lot of sleep to catch up on, actually. Spasiba. Yeah, Benadryl is a antihistamine that makes you tired. Well, you're not wrong this time, Roger Namek. I know you just came in to be passive aggressive, but in this case, you are completely correct. I am tired, and I am going to have a little well deserved rest in a bit. Olivia draws. I am Eric, and welcome to Talking with Famous People, the internet's only YouTube channel. I'm about to go tell a bedtime story because I'm about to go back to bed. And as I go to sleep, I will tell you all a wonderful story that you will enjoy with your listening ears. Would you like that? Of course you would. What could be more soothing than that? If you want to go back to bed, here's your opportunity. Yes, simple girl. And here's your opportunity to go back to sleep. Death without commitment. I like to sleep because it's comfort without having to be sitting upright. It's my favorite kind of comfort. Horizontal comfort. It's comfort without the verticality. Okay, don't get scared. If you're scared of the dark, well, what I want you to do is just close your eyes and listen to the soothing, reassuring sound of my voice as I tell you this wonderful bedtime story. And then you too will gently, pleasantly fall asleep. Okay? And you're going to like that. You're going to like this thing called sleep. You get to close your eyes and rest your little heart out. Okay? Can you see me? There's my arm. You can see it a little bit. Okay. Once upon a time, there was this lady named Leslie. She was 32 years old. And In fact, it was the morning of her 32nd birthday. And she woke up. You know, she worked at the DMV, but she woke up on her 32nd birthday and she had this inexplicable and growing passion, urgency, desire to become a gymnast. So she told herself, "Oh, Leslie, you're being silly. You can't start gymnastics at 32." But, you know, increasingly, she'd be in all of her off hours watching gymnastics clips on YouTube and stuff. She'd never even liked the sport before. Now she found she just couldn't get enough of it. So much so that even at work, she'd sneak out her phone while she was helping people and watch gymnastics clips. Anyway, so one day, about a week after her birthday, she just almost uncontrollably, like as though being controlled by a robot controller, and she's the robot. Anyway, she finds herself going to a gymnastics gymnasium nearby her house. It's like, well, not that near. It's like 20 minutes away by car. Anyway, she has a Prius. She drives her Prius to the gymnastics gymnasium, which is called Jim and Janet's Gymnastics Gymnasium. Okay, Jim and Janet's Gymnastics Gymnasium is actually, it turns out, she didn't know this or anything, but turns out is a hub of some of the best gymnastics coaches in the whole world, produces many of the United States Olympians in gymnastics. But when she walks in, she sees this like display case that talks about all their achievements and has some trophies and stuff in it. And she realizes, wow. And then she realizes, I want to be Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics. That's my goal in life. I can't believe it took me till I was 32 to realize that was my goal. So she goes up to the counter of the gymnastics gymnasium, Jim and Janice Gymnastics Gymnasium, or JJGG as it's called. Anyway, for short. And the person behind the counter says, "Hello, welcome to Jim and Janet's Gymnastics Gymnasium. What can I do to help you? Would you like to enroll your child in gymnastics?" And Leslie says, "No, I want to enroll myself. I want to become Olympic gold medalist at gymnastics." And the guy says, "You're too old to become Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics. And besides, you don't get a gold medal in gymnastics. You get a gold medal in like pommel horse or parallel bars or, those kind of things." And she says, "I know, I know. I don't even care which event it is. I just need to get a gold medal in gymnastics." And the guy says, "Well, you're too old to do that. So you're not going to be able to win a gold medal. How old are you, lady? You look to be at least 30." She says, "I'm 32. And I appreciate you not speculating about my age like that." And the guy says, "Also, you're too big for gymnastics. How tall are you?" And she says, "I'm 5'10". "And how much do you weigh?" And she says, "You should not ask a lady that question." And he says, "Well, if you want to win the gold medal in gymnastics, I'm going to need to know." And she said, "Well, I'm 200 pounds." And he says, 5'10", 200 pounds? That's too big for gymnastics. You should go play basketball or something." And she says, "I don't want to play basketball. I want to play gymnastics." So the guy says, hold on, let me get my manager. And he brings out and his manager is an old British gentleman dressed in a very bespoke suit. He says, good day, madam. My name is Godfrey, and I'm here, no relation to Natasha, Godfrey Ashford, of course, just Godfrey. And I'm here to help you. What can I do for you? And she explains her situation again, and he says, well, I've never really imagined I'd say this, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's try to train you, a 32-year-old woman, 5'10", 200 pounds, try to train you into an Olympic gold medalist. And so they negotiate a price for the coaching, and the other guy, the regular cashier behind the counter, is looking in absolute shock at his manager. He says, Godfrey, what in the world are you thinking? I mean, she's too big for gymnastics. She's too old for gymnastics. And Godfrey says, I see in her the spark of genius. And the cashier says, okay, well, you know what, lady? Godfrey here is the world's foremost gymnastics talent scout. He can spot a gymnast from a quarter mile away. He can smell a good gymnast from, at least 100 yards. So if he says you've got it, then I believe him. And Leslie says, good, can we start right now? And Godfrey says, I wouldn't have it any other way. So Godfrey takes Leslie out into the gym and says, all right, let's see what you're good at. And so first he has her walk along the long, thin bar and you do somersaults on and stuff. I forget what that one's called. Anyway, then you walk along the top of it. It's like a thin little wall, but it's not a wall. It's just a bar. Anyway, he says, "Okay, walk along this bar." And so she like tries to get up on top of it, and she puts one leg over it like it's a horse, and then she slides around so she's upside down, and she hits her head on the mat and goes oof, and then falls down and says ah. And Godfrey says, okay, all right, well, perhaps the balance beam, that's what it's called, the balance beam, is not for you. Uh, let's try another one. Let's try the parallel bars. And so she goes up to the parallel bars and he says, give it a jump now. Give it a jumpsy do. And so she jumps up onto the parallel bar and she starts kind of swinging back and forth a little bit. And she's on the taller one. She's like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And then she bangs into the shorter bar with her butt and knocks herself off and falls to the ground and oof onto the mat. She's like, ow. Gets up and rubs her back. All right, maybe not the parallel bars then. Let's try another one. This time, let's try the floor exercises. And so she goes over to the floor exercises and she she gets like down onto her hands and knees and she does a little roll over thing. Like she just kind of rolls over onto her side and then rolls over and just starts rolling along the mat like that. And God says, no, 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 that's not how you do it. You got to do a little jump and then do like a flip in the air and stuff like that. So Leslie gets up and she takes a little running start and tries to do a flip in the air. And instead she just falls over, trips over her feet, and lands right on her face on the mat. Ow, I think I broke my nose, she says in dismay. And Robert says, come here, let me look at it. Let me see. And he takes a look. He says, no, it's not broken. You've just bloodied it a bit. Just a bit of a bloodied nose. Here, let me get it for you. And he takes a handkerchief out of his pocket and with his index finger, like, shoves the handkerchief up one of her nostrils and he rubs it around in there and takes it out and gets to the cleaner part of the handkerchief and does it with the other nostril. He says, there you go, all cleaned up. And Leslie says, oh my God, I feel so nostrily violated. He says, that's normal. That's a normal part of gymnastics. All right, well, there's not a whole lot of gymnastics things left for you to try, but I guess we do have the pommel horse. And she goes up onto the pommel horse, which has two things. He says, okay, now use your arms on those two metal parts there. One hand on the one metal part, and then the other hand on the other metal part. There you go. Now you want to lift yourself up into the air with just your arms. And, she tries to do this, but immediately just, she bangs the front of her face on the side of the pommel horse and her knees give out underneath her and she falls to the ground and then she forgets to let go of the pommel horse, so she kind of strains her hand a little bit. She, ow! I hate this pommel horse. And she kicks it and she hurts her toe. Oh, she's jumping around up and down. And Godfrey says, well, I don't know, let's see. There's only one thing left to try. And it's that one that you jump off the little jumping thing and you push off of that other thing and flip through the air. It's kind of like the pommel horse, but you jump off of it and make a little flip. And so I forget what that one's called. Anyway, so she goes and says, all right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what I got here. So she runs up to the little jumping platform and she jumps on the end of it and flies up into the air and she hits the push off part of it. And with her hands, she's already upside down. She pushes her hands off. She flips through the air like 3 or 4 times and then sticks the landing square on 2 feet with her arms up in the air. And she goes, oh my God, what was that? And Godfrey said, you did it. You've got it. I knew it. Leslie, you are made for that jumping event. You're perfect at it already. You don't even need any training. And so they agreed after this that they would enter her immediately in the gymnastics Olympic trials. So she went to the gymnastics Olympic trials and she won in the Olympic trials that jumping event. And then she went to the Olympics and she won the gold medal. The end. I hope you enjoyed this bedtime story. Good night and good luck until later. Time for you to go win your own Olympic gold medal.